I'm usually a pretty big wuss when it comes to horror movies, but I know there's a lot of great films out there, so I'm trying to be brave and branch out and watch some of them. So today I'm watching the 1960 film The Fall of the House of Usher. I know it stars Vincent Price. I've seen a few of his other films and I've really enjoyed them. I named my cat after Vincent Price, so he's definitely one of my favorite, actors that I've discovered recently, and I'm sad it took me so long to find his work because I really appreciate his performances and they've just been amazing so far, so I'm excited to add this one to the list as well. I know this is based off an Edgar Allen Poe story or poem. I know it's one of his works. I haven't read it, so I don't know what this is about, but yeah, so let me know in the comments how true this is to the source material. I know Edgar Allan Poe's material is usually very dark, so I'm a little nervous going into this. I hope it's not too scary. I know there is a new version out on Netflix as well, and I always try and watch the original if I haven't seen it before watching the new stuff. I really enjoyed Mike Flanagan's Haunting on Hill House series, and I've been waiting to watch, The Fall of House of Usher, the new one as well, so I definitely wanted to watch this first before I watch the new one. And I know the new one is a series, so I'm curious to see how they would have expanded the source material into a series as well. But like I said, I always try and watch the original first if I haven't seen it yet. I'm not expecting this to be overly gory or anything, especially with it coming out in 1960. And I love Vincent Price, so yeah, I'm curious to see who the rest of the cast is and where this story is gonna go. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. I didn't think movies that came out in the 60s had overtures, or I wonder if I'll have like an intermission or anything like that. Like I know Gone with the Wind, older movies like that would have them. But yeah, I wasn't expecting something from the 60s. So yeah, I'm very curious to see where this is gonna go. Yeah, I was wondering if it would be in color, but yeah, I like black and white movies either way. Yeah, Vincent Price, Mark Damon. I love a spooky old house. Yeah, so creepy. And it looks like a matte painting, like the fog wasn't moving. Let me know in the comments if that's... Oh, okay, here we go. And to see Usher, like, on the, I'm assuming what was the gate once, like, obviously this house looks like it's been abandoned for a long time, and yeah, let me know if it's a real location or not.
My name is Philip Winthrop. Miss Usher and I are engaged to be married.
Oh, well, how's she confined to her bed then? And they're engaged? What?
Strange request. This is the first time I've ever been...
And who is he talking to? Dun 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 dun. Okay, spooky already. I love this set though, this like old house that doesn't seem as like decrepit on the inside. On the outside it definitely looked like no one had been there for years, so. And these like red candlesticks throughout the house as well, and like red chairs and red carpet. Obviously red in horror movies is nothing new.
What is the meaning of this?
He's blonde in this? Okay. I almost didn't recognize him.
Sir, how dare you admit anyone into this house?
I insisted, sir.
He looks so young in this, too. Oh, man.
Well, we can't talk out here. Please come in.
But you can't mistake that voice. Like, he has such an iconic voice as well. And, of course, he's wearing a red jacket. Like, definitely red throughout.
An affliction of the hearing. Sounds of any exaggerated degree cut into my brain like knives.
Oh my gosh.
Very well, he will stay. Now, for pity's sake, return to your bed.
Why is she confined to her bed? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, he's adamant on staying, that's for sure. I don't recognize any of the other cast members, but I'm enjoying their performances so far.
Marry and have children.
Because the Usher line is tainted, Mr. Winthrop.
Tainted, sir.
What does that mean?
You see me. We are dying, Mr. Winthrop.
What? She looked fine. What?
Why do you assume that you are dying?
There are many reasons.
Are they vampires? That's my first guess. She's sick. She said they're going to stay the same as she is today, like she wouldn't age.
To my taste buds, any sort of garment other than the softest is agony to my flesh.
Is this a real, like, affliction?
And so I could hear you coming. Every footstep, every rustle of your clothes. I could hear your horse approaching.
Vampires have great hearing. I'm just going with vampires.
So that it took the power of many to subdue them.
Do you not exaggerate, sir?
Vincent Price's performance is amazing so far, which is no surprise. Oh, it's starting to move. I love the practical effects. So cool. Yeah, as the candle just moves across. Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, why is the house moving? Like the giant crack in the building? Oh my gosh.
Do you really think so?
Have you a better explanation?
Is he drinking blood or red wine or in this red cup with his red candles?
But if I do, I won't be alone. I intend to see that...
He's like, I'm done with this conversation. Goodbye. Yeah, Philip's obviously adamant about not leaving without Madeline. Oh my, a smooch.
Darling, once you're with me, you'll wake up from this nightmare.
Oh, the whip pan. He's like, how dare you?
I think Is it Madeline?
You hate me so much you want to keep me a prisoner here.
Yeah, he's very controlling over his sister.
Oh, my dear, do not delude yourself. I beg of you, do not delude yourself.
Are they ghosts? Like, is that why she can't leave the property? Because vampires would be able to leave, so...
Madeline?
Oh my gosh, I knew it was gonna happen too.
Done it before.
I thought she was gonna, reappear in the window as a bat or something if we're going with the vampire theory. I have no idea where this is gonna go. This is just a guess based on every other horror movie I've seen, but usually vampires would stay away from crosses, so I feel like that cancels that theory. A ghost, maybe? Yeah, I'm very curious to see where this is gonna go.
Sense of taste. Well, all right then. Hot gruel. For both of us.
Yes, sir.
That sounds appealing. No, thank you.
How long have you been with the Ushers, Bristol?
60 years, sir.
60 years?
That can't be right. The math's not mathing.
Collapsed. And that doesn't worry you?
Oh, no, sir. If the house dies, I shall die with it. Oh, be careful.
What does that mean? That's very ominous indeed. He's attached to the house?
I can't,
Why?
because very soon I shall be dead.
What? How? So many questions.
Wait against it.
Why is there like a cage or like a jail cell in the basement? What's going on? What are they keeping captive down here?
Here they all are. The Ushers.
All these coffins? They're just buried under the house? Okay.
My mother.
Man, everybody is gone. Cheese and rice. Is there gonna be one for her too? Oh no. Yep. Oh my god. They just have that like pre-made? That's horrible.
They all wait for me.
Yeah, because they'd be the last of the Usher family, so...
You don't understand.
I understand, but you must leave the dead to themselves. Oh, Madeline, come away with me now.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, here's Grandma. Oh my god. That's horrible. Cheese and rice. Yeah, get her out of there, man. Head to the front door and don't look back. That's so gruesome. Oh my gosh. Get out of there, man.
The trees lost their foliage. The flowers languished and died.
Is it something in the fog? Like, what?
Thief, usurer, merchant of flesh.
Oh my.
Roderick Usher. Swindler, forger, jewel thief.
The one's not in the crypt. Oh my. But still gets like family portraits done of them.
Francis Usher.
Oh my, why the red eyes?
Blackmailer, harlot, murderess. She died in the madhouse.
Quite the family tree he's got going on here. He's like, let me show you where we keep them.
That this has anything to do with Madeline and myself. I don't believe in the sins of the fathers being visited upon the children.
Yeah, he thinks because people in the family did horrible things that now they're like cursed or something.
Foul thoughts and foul deeds have been committed within its walls. The house itself is evil.
The house has seen a thing or two is what you're saying. Oh my.
I will not listen to you.
Yes, you will.
No, I will not! I'll tell you what's evil in this house, sir. You!
Oh, he doesn't like loud noises.
Fancy's destroying Madeline's life!
Oh my gosh, and he's shouting, so much shouting.
She leaves with me today.
Yeah, he thinks if she has kids, he's gonna continue this curse that they have. Like, just more horrible ushers are gonna be born. Oh no.
I will.
Yeah, I like the concept of them thinking that the house itself is evil.
Oh, Philip, can it truly be?
Darling, within an hour we'll be away from here.
I don't feel like this is gonna have a happy ending, unfortunately.
Pack. Quickly.
And them not wanting to have kids because their, like, aunts and uncles turned out to be horrible. They're like, well, if you have kids, who knows? He's gonna lock her in, isn't he? Oh, no.
There's nothing you can say to me, Roderick. I will
Madeline, open the door! Madeline!
Oh my god, that didn't sound good. That didn't sound good at all. What? She was just screaming.
Gun to her.
What? Why does he look like a statue?
Madeline?
Is she dead? What? How? What? It sounded like he like threw her out the window or something.
No.
How did she? What? So many questions.
Madeline?
He obviously killed her. Like, he's involved for sure. We heard the two of them arguing on the outside of the door, but... Oh no. They were so close to leaving, of course.
Not withstand the strain you put upon it.
I feel like this is a movie you need to watch again. Like, once you've seen it, you know how it ends.
She has been spared the agony of trying to escape.
Vincent Price is the bad guy? Like, what? I'm not used to seeing him as the villain. Oh my gosh.
Peace without penalty.
That you wanted her to die?
Wanted! Yes!
What a reaction. Wanted with his eyebrows.
Wished.
No, he didn't want her to die.
It was inevitable as my death is inevitable.
She's alive? Her fingers are moving. Did he not see it, or he's just hoping to, like, end this before she actually comes back to life? Yeah, I definitely feel like she's still alive. Like, there's, like, breathing sounds. Oh, my God. Oh, that was loud.
I don't suppose any of us slept much last night.
No, sir.
Well, Madeline certainly didn't, considering she woke up in her own coffin.
The like, sir. Miss Madeline was...
What did you say?
Sir,
You said catalepsies?
did I?
What is that?
Is Madeline subject to cataleptic trances?
Oh, no, sir, not Miss
The
Madeline.
truth!
Is it like seizures? Like, what is this?
That's why Mr. Usher wanted her put in the crypt so soon.
Oh, no, Mr. Winthrop.
He's gotta figure it out. Come on, go save her. Oh my god, why would you lock the coffin? Like, that's excessive. If she's dead, like, obviously he knows. What? The coffin's empty?
Where is she?
I don't know, sir.
Plot twist. Where'd she go?
Sir!
There's so many twists. Oh my, hey, that's almost the name of the movie.
What do you wish?
Where is she?
So you know.
He's literally in the middle of painting her right now, like the rest of them. Oh man.
Where is she? Don't touch me. Where is she? Touch me!
He's like, she can't leave, so I'm just gonna fake her death.
She's dead now.
I swear it.
You swear it! You buried your own sister alive!
This guy's sick. So sick. Oh my god.
Nothing.
I'll find her.
He's just so obsessed with this curse. He's like, well, I gotta put my sister out of her misery because, you know, she's this family curse.
You know that it was.
Oh my gosh. He's obsessed. This poor guy, like, just the roller coaster of emotions. He just wants his lady. Dream sequence? Oh, what is he doing here? Oh yeah, what is going on with the fog and this like blue overlay of color and definitely lots of stairs involved? Like, what is going on? Oh, we've switched to red. Well, this is the scariest part of the movie for sure. Oh my god, just with his hands like, join us forever. And everybody with like their knives as they walk past. What is going on? Oh my gosh. Oh, that wasn't an axe at all. Oh my god, it's so creepy. Just as Vincent Price's like smile and is like extending his hand backwards like that. So bizarre, but so well done at the same time.
Why did you do it?
I told you.
Who is he shushing? No one else is there.
I have spared you and the world. If you only knew the agonies I have endured in your behalf.
I love this camera movement of like shifting as they talk.
Scream of terror. Did you know that I could hear the scratching of her fingernails on the casket lid?
Oh my god, yet you did nothing. Yeah, exactly, just listen to it. Ugh. Poor kid.
Deranged. Infuriate. Can you not hear her voice? Where?
He is mad as a hatter. Oh my gosh, he's lost his marbles a long time ago.
Screaming, wild with fury, the strength of madness in her. Can you not hear her voice? She calls my name.
You're the only one hearing voices, bud.
Roderick.
Well, you shouldn't have buried her alive, maybe, you know, just a thought. Oh my god, as the bloody hand comes out of the coffin. And now all the coffins are empty? What? Great soundtrack, yeah. So creepy. Oh, there's a bloody coffin. Oh my god. That's the most blood we've seen so far, which I'm not surprised. Like, I wasn't expecting an overly gory movie. Oh my god, what was that? Yeah, and he can hear every step that he's making, so where is he going? Just these endless hallways, bloody handprints. It's the kind of paintings where no matter where you are in the room, they're always watching you with their eyes. Oh my god. And if they were so horrible, why is he like painting their portraits to remember them? Oh my god, why is she attacking him? Oh, what? Oh my god! Is she like possessed by the ghosts of her ancestors? What? Oh! I don't think it's Madeline anymore. Yeah, she's lost her mind. Oh my god. Yep, there's darkness in those eyes. Oh my gosh. Just as she comes so close to camera. Well, now she's going after her brother or the house is burning down. Oh my god, get out of there! Yeah, this thing's falling apart piece by piece. And it's taking you down with it. I don't have high hopes anybody's making it out alive. And that looks like real fire, which is concerning for the safety.
No other way. No other way.
And she's not even talking. She's just like, forget you for trying to bury me alive. Oh no! Oh! Oh no 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 no! Oh my gosh. Okay, well, if she wasn't dead before, I don't think she is now. You gotta get out of there, Philip. Yeah, and the same shot of how we started the film with them going past the gates. Oh my god, the whole building. I'm very curious how they did this because it looks very real. Poor Philip has had a heck of a week. Oh my gosh, he just wanted his lady. I like that they added it from the original source material at the end too. Ah, yes, credits. Roger Corman? Really? I was not expecting that. Roger Corman films are usually much different, so that's interesting. I didn't know he had worked with Vincent Price. Okay. So that was my first time watching the 1960 film The Fall of the House of Usher starring Vincent Price. I in no way expected this to be a Roger Corman film. I've loved Roger Corman and I've definitely seen a few of his movies. You can check out those reactions as well, but in no way would I have thought Roger Corman would have been anywhere near this, so it's definitely a shift, and you know, it seems like a good shift in the right direction, so I'm very excited to see if there's other work like this. Like, I had no idea he worked with Vincent Price. Roger Corman's usually, you know, B-list actors, C-list, you know, some hidden gems, but yeah, that was a surprise for sure. And they had some of the cast names come up at the beginning, but obviously we don't see the director and the crew come up till the end, so that was interesting. I'm very curious to see the TV series now after I've watched this, because there's still a lot of questions and I haven't read the source material, so let me know in the comments how true this is to the actual a short story, poem, whatever this is based on. They did have some source text come up at the last. The house is completely gone. There's this fog, just the dead trees. They've just got the name on the gate basically is the only distinguishing factor that a house, was even there at one point. So yeah, let me know. I'll definitely have to check it out, but I'm curious to see how they would have turned this into a series and what they would have explored and taken more time on, because this was this was an hour and a half. Like, it wasn't, a 4-hour movie or anything. So I imagine the source material is pretty short. Vincent Price was blonde, which I was not expecting. And I'm really excited that it was in color. That was great. I love black and white as well, but sometimes it's just nice to have color and to see all the vibrancy of everything that they came through. And, red was obviously very prevalent throughout this film as well. And Vincent Price's performance was amazing. No surprise there. It's just his delivery and his, tone and just the way he delivers his lines. And there was quite a bit of dialogue for his character as well. And flawless, like so well done. And a really small cast, like it was just the 4 of them basically. And really, really well done. And I didn't recognize any of the other actors, but let me know what I would know them from. But everybody's performance was so well done. It honestly almost felt like a play. It's got another great example of you don't need to have 500 special effects or, a bunch of extras and locations to tell a good story. Like, Philip arrives, first shot of the film basically, and then we have the last shot of the film is him leaving. He's the only one who makes it out alive, and the whole film takes place basically within the house, and obviously we see different rooms, but that's it. And the whole story takes place, a short timeline over a couple of days. It couldn't have been more than a week that he was there as well. So yeah, just a really great example of if you have a really tight story, you don't need to have all this extra stuff. You can have few locations, few cast members, and still pull it off well. I don't know what year the story was written in. It definitely didn't take place in the 60s when this came out. So yeah, I'm curious to see when this was written and if that's where they had based the year of the film as well. There was nothing really, like, obviously the outfits and the costumes didn't look like 1960, and they didn't use any technology or anything, and the house itself was definitely a character. And I think it's very fitting having the title of the film be The House of Usher, which I think could have two meanings: the literal house where they live, and also the family. Like, this is the house of Usher. All these people, all these relatives lived here at one point and were a part of this family. And having the crypt in the basement, I was not expecting that at all. And, going through, like, here's my grandparents, here's my great-grandparents, here's my parents, and here's where I'm gonna go. It's just like, how, that just seems very ominous and very, like, looming your own mortality, just having this coffin and this crypt ready for you whenever you die. And I definitely still have a lot of questions about this, because I don't know if they intentionally left things, open for interpretation, or if they go into more detail in the source material, but they never really say what Madeline is afflicted with, because, she doesn't really eat much and she's pale. So I was like, okay, maybe she's a vampire. And Roderick having this really intense hearing, and I believe there is a condition where you're very sensitive to touch and light and stuff like that. I don't know the name of it, but I feel like that's a real thing, very rare. But so I was like, okay, maybe it's that. And then we find out that Madeline can go into these, like, catatonic trances, and obviously her brother knows that. And when she has one of these trances, he uses that opportunity to bury her alive, which is just horrible. So messed up, but in his mind it's justified, and he's doing a favor by taking her out of the world, because then there's no more Ushers, and this, legacy can't continue if she's not going out into the world and having babies basically and continuing on the family line. Like, what is that? So messed up and so controlling to just always be like, where are you? Like, you can't go anywhere. And wants Philip to leave basically as soon as she gets there. Wants Philip to leave as soon as he gets there. But I'm curious about this trip to Boston, because obviously if she was well enough to go to Boston and left the house when they met, and then, he shows up at the door and Roderick's like, oh yeah, she's on bed rest, like, she can't leave, she's stuck here, she's ill. It's like, how did this happen? Like, I'm assuming it hadn't been years since they saw each other, like maybe a month, like it couldn't have been too long. So yeah, I'm very curious, and I don't mind that they leave it open for interpretation. I was hoping for maybe a little bit of answers towards the end, but that's not the case. And much like they had alluded to the entire movie, Roderick, Madeline, and their butler do not make it out. Like, everybody perishes in the house, and you know, the concept of the house itself being evil, that it's seen too many things basically, and that they brought this house over from England and the house carried this evil with it basically. And, you know, you see the structure falling apart, and the interior definitely didn't match the exterior. Like the outside was, you know, it looked like there was cracks in every possible section of the house, and the windows, and, you know, these vines and the fog and like it did not look like an inviting house. And then you go inside and everything seems normal. So yeah, I was very curious as to how that correlated, and I definitely thought they were vampires because they seem to check every box in vampire lore. And I was like, okay, maybe they're ghosts because they had, you know, they're pale. They don't really, like, we're not talking to anybody else. Maybe Roderick's the only one who can see them. And if they can't leave the house, you know, typically ghosts can't leave the area that they're haunting. So yeah, and they never really explained what she was sick with. And I think it's such an interesting story because Roderick is such an unreliable narrator and also a villain, and the fact that he's just so obsessed with this family curse, you as an audience member start to wonder, okay, is it real, or is he just, you know, completely obsessed with this? He's like, well, here's an uncle who did something horrible, and here's an aunt who did something horrible, here's a cousin. Like, is that, you know, possible to get like seeped into the walls of a house? Like, is that able to be carried over? And I think it's a bit premature to assume that if you have a kid, it's going to grow up to be horrible because your uncle is horrible. Like, obviously that's not, you know, accurate. A kid could grow up to be many, many things, but Roderick is so convinced that he has to stop this evil from spreading into the world, and he needs to be the one to put a stop to this. And I don't think he wanted to hurt Madeline. He just thought in his mind he had to, and definitely convinces himself of that in many ways. And yeah, it's just, you see him conflicted, and he's like talking to nobody, and he's like, oh yeah, it's almost done. I'm like, is it the ghosts? Is it his own, you know, sanity that he's slowly losing his mind and going mad? Because we hear they have a family history that struggles with these things. And again, how true is that? Like, it was just very much hard to know what to believe. And I think that's a great part of this story, is it doesn't spell it out for you. It makes you wonder and it makes you guess. But to me, Roderick was just overly convinced that this family curse was real. I don't think it actually exists, but I think he was so convinced of it, he started to, you know, once you put it out there, he starts bringing it into real life and starts making it happen, because Madeline seemed fine. Like, or was it the ghosts of his past, you know, ancestors who were haunting the house, who were, you know, whispering things in his ear, telling him to do these things, like making him go mad? And yeah, so I think there's many different theories you could go to, and I'm very curious to learn more about the source material and see if that explains it further. And yeah, I really enjoyed that they had that clip come up at the end of the text. Let me know if that was a real location, if that was a real house, or if it was just a matte painting. And I like that Roderick's character was also painting his relatives. They were very abstract and dark, like they had, you know, dark eyes and red eyes, and no one looked happy in those photos. Like, they were very intense. But I like that he incorporated this artwork to it, and he was drawing Madeline, like, while he knows she's still alive, basically. Like, he knew full well that he was burying his sister alive and still did it anyway. And like, why are you locking a coffin? Like, come on. Like, obviously and then she wasn't in there, and then she is. Like, it was just so much back and forth of what's going on. And again, maybe that's creative liberties they took for the film. I'm not too sure. I felt so bad for Philip. He was just having a heck of a time. He's so excited. He's going to get his lady, and they're going to go get married. And he's got these plans for the future. And then he meets her brother, who's very overpowering and very controlling, but just the subtle way that Vincent Price does it as well is so good. Like, he raised his voice a couple times for sure, but it's just more in his tone. And he's also, you know, quite tall, so is very, like, you know, could be a bit domineering in the scene, and just his expression as well, so well done. But yeah, he just wanted to, like, be with Madeline so bad, and was so, like, you know, even after meeting this brother, and he could have left, and, you know, he's been warned many, many times that this is not a good place to be and that he should get out, and he just is steadfast on staying and tries to do everything in his power to save Madeline. But even when Madeline comes out of the coffin, you know, she has got this look in her eyes like a wild animal, basically. Like, there is something, like, she is on a mission, she is mad, and she doesn't even say a word. So I don't even know if she came back, you know, human. Like, what is this version of her that comes back? She doesn't talk at all. She just lunges right for Roderick and starts strangling him, and then Obviously, we see the house catches on fire and they all, unfortunately perish in the fire. But still, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? And I don't know if this was inspired by a real family at the time. Again, I don't know what year this, actual story was printed. I'm curious to find out if there was like a family that maybe just had the worst luck in the world and that's what inspired Edgar Allan Poe. And I know he's got, some very macabre and dark writings, so maybe he just created this out of his mind and there was no inspiration for it. But yeah, I feel like there's probably a few families in history that you could look at that you're like, man, they just, the worst luck in the world. And I could see why they would believe this notion of a family curse. And again, I think Roderick just concocted this in his mind and was so convinced of it he couldn't go anywhere else, and I think he had just kind of given up at this point and was just waiting to die. Not a ton of blood or gore, which I wasn't, surprised by. We had, Madeline's bloody handprint on the coffin and then on the doors as he goes through, all these corridors and, hidden passageways throughout the house trying to find her and the drops of blood. And you think if she had come out and was trying to find him, like, it would have been fairly straightforward. Why wouldn't she go back, the way she came? But maybe she was trying to hide from her brother as well. And, to see poor Philip, go on this crazy venture to try and find her and then to lose her again and to get her back and lose her, it was just like such a roller coaster. There was only a few scenes with practical effects, which was fine. I love practical effects, having the candle move a little bit on the table and the chandelier falls and, the whole house is shaking, which would be terrifying. And, to feel like the house is revolting against you, like the walls and, the materials that make up this house are, trying to do something to you is just such a terrifying concept. And that evil can live within a house instead of within a person is so creepy and just such an interesting concept. And the fact that this house was, surrounded by death, basically, there's the crypt at the bottom of the house and there's just this fog and the storm, like there's nothing green, there's no plants, there's nothing around this house that shows, vibrancy and life. And we do hear Roderick explain it a little bit. He said, like, it used to be, used to be trees and this beautiful landscape. And then one day this thing just rolled in. He's like, this evil just showed up. And I'm like, okay, like it wasn't, the explanation I was kind of hoping for. I thought there'd be a little bit more detail other than randomly one day, basically everything turned horribly and, the house started crumbling. But yeah, it definitely didn't look like a welcoming, atmosphere. I just love anytime we get those creepy old houses and, the decrepit, they just add this character to the story. And we definitely had that in this one. I think that dream sequence was the creepiest part of the whole film, to see Vincent Price with his, like, this big smile as he turns around to put his hand out to Philip and, everybody in the crowd looking at Philip and seeing him. And like some people had knives in their hands as well, but it was just, they were smiling, but it definitely wasn't a friendly smile. It was like, we're going to eat you, basically, like, come with us. Like, and everybody's just staring at him as he walks through. The church is trying to get to the coffin and that's where Madeline is, and to see Roderick take Madeline away. And I feel like that dream, if you wanted to analyze it, was some of the anxiety that obviously Philip was feeling because he was trying so hard to get to Madeline and there was all these things stopping him. So I feel like that's what that dream was trying to say. But so creepy, and like the blue color and then red and then back to blue, and like no other color in that shot. It was just completely overlaid with one solid color, and so much fog coming in just adds to, the mystery and the unknown. But poor Philip, just all he wanted to do was get to Madeline. And they didn't say who the other people in the crowd were, but to me, those were past, Usher family members, like the, cousins, uncles, aunts, grandma, whoever it was. But I feel like that's who he was trying to push through to get to Madeline. But yeah, again, just Vincent Price's performance is just, and looking not directly to camera, but turning back, looking to the audience with a smile and his hand out was just, it just gave me shivers. Like, it was just so unsettling. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I finally watched it. I'm very curious to start the Netflix series and see how that correlates and see what pieces they pick up on, what they try and emulate from the movie, what they leave out. There's always those little creative differences. And just the way this whole family was tied to the house, Bristol's saying, like, if the house dies, I die. And it's like, the house isn't alive. Like, what does that mean? So, yeah, just a really interesting concept for a film. I do wish there had been a little bit more details, but like I said, those might might be in the source material of the book. Like, I thought they were vampires. I thought they were ghosts. You know, were they just people who were mentally so convinced that there was this curse that they brought it to life? Like, they just were so convinced of it that they made it happen inadvertently. And, you know, we had body count of the 3 of them dying in the fire, and Philip's the only one who makes it out. So we did get the names of some of the other characters, like the grandma and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see if that will be brought into this series, what that looks like. I don't know if there are any other remakes or anything of this, or if there are any other versions other than the show and this one, but really well done. I'm definitely going to have to learn more about the source material as well. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. He's blonde in this? Okay. I almost didn't recognize him. Why is she confined to her bed? I don't know. Quite the family tree he's got going on here. He's like, let me show you where we keep them. This red cup with his red candles. She's alive. Her fingers are moving. You're the only one hearing voices, bud. Oh, he doesn't like loud noises.